all for today's class. Today we are going to learn or we are going to revise two chapters, chapter 3 and chapter 4. Okay, in chapter 3 we are going to revise birth of Prophet Muhammad and spread of Islam. Okay, and in fourth lesson we are going to learn about Turkish invasion and establishment of Delhi Sultanate. Okay. In chapter 3, in birth of Prophet Muhammad, if you want to learn birth of Prophet Muhammad and the spread of Islam, we should know about medieval period. Okay, especially in medieval India, because medieval India was influenced. If you want to know the history of medieval India, we should know the history of some of the countries like Central Asia, West Asia and Europe. Okay, because these countries or this part of the Asian countries are very closely linked with India and it had some influences too. Okay, and when we learn about advent of Islam, especially when we see Islam, we know that Islam was founded by Prophet Muhammad. Okay, and in 570 BC, there was a radical change in the history of the world by the birth of a eminent person called Muhammad. Okay, and Prophet Muhammad was born in Mecca in 570 BC to the merchant family. Okay, merchant parents. His father was a merchant, but he lost his parent when he was very young. So he was grew under his uncle. Okay, and when he grew up, he started to help his uncle in business, and he traveled far and wide with caravans. And this travel helped him to contact with the Middle East countries, especially it helped him to contact with the Christians and the Jews. So, Prophet Muhammad was attracted by the teachings of Christians and the Jews. When we see Arab, during this period, Arab was disintegrated and it was ruled by different rulers. There was constant war between the different states. Okay, and they were under the control of under the worship. They were in the superstitious beliefs. They worshipped different gods and goddesses. What Muhammad did, Muhammad meditated on God and he received the divine call in 610 BC with the help of angel Gabriel. And after his divine call, he was convinced himself with a divine call and he started to preach his ideas according to the divine call. And what he did, he founded a new religion. His teachings were different. Okay, and so thus he became the founder of Islam. And the people, those who followed his teaching, were known as Muslims. A word Muslim means submission. Okay, and when we see all his teachings of Prophet Muhammad, we can found in the holy book of Muslims called Quran. Okay, what is this teaching? Prophet Muhammad teaching mainly based on 5 principles. That is prayer for 5 times a day, fast during the month of Ramzan, give alms to the poor, take pilgrimage once in a lifetime to Mecca, okay, and have good and kind behavior. These are all his principles. Okay, when we see Prophet Muhammad, he forbade idol worship. Okay, and he gave importance for the only God called Allah. And he started to preach his ideas on God in Mecca. And the religious leaders in Mecca got revenge. They angered on Prophet Muhammad. So, what happened? Prophet Muhammad and his followers, they happened to move Mecca to Medina. And he left Mecca in 622 BC. He went to Medina. Okay, in Medina he stayed there for 10 years, and after 10 years he returned to Mecca again in 630 BC. Okay, and after he came to Mecca in 632 BC he died. Okay, and after his life, who became successor? Okay, after Prophet Muhammad, Abu Bakr became his successor. Okay, Abu Bakr was his friend and he became their successor. So he became their first caliph. What is caliph or caliphate? Okay, he founded the caliphate. And what is the meaning of caliph? Okay, caliph was a religious and political leader in those times. Okay, and spread of Islam. How was Islam spreaded? What was the reason for the spread of Islam? Now, there was a huge army they have founded. The motivation of that army was not only preaching the ideas of Prophet Muhammad, they also wanted to establish this Islam in all over the world and make the nations to follow the religion called Islam. And this Abu Bakr, he collected different people and he invaded different countries. Okay, like Spain, North America, North Africa. Okay, these are some of the region where he conquered. And when we see during this his period, Islam was spreaded in different parts of the world like Spain, Europe, North America, North Africa. Okay, these are the different countries. Almost 6 countries Islam was spreaded. And when Prophet Muhammad died, Arab was fully followed the new religion called Islam. And when we see the spread of Islam, because of the hard work of Abu Bakr, they were established different cities. Okay, like a city called Damascus, Baghdad and Cairo. These 3 cities became well-developed cities, and that's why the civilization also developed in this region. And when we see the Abbasids and Umayyads, who were these Abbasids and Umayyads? Okay, both Abbasids and Umayyads were the Muslim people, those who followed Islam and established their empire in Arab. Okay, when we see Abbasids, the Umayyads preceded Abbasids. Okay, and Umayyads, they kept Damascus as their capital, whereas Abbasids, they kept Baghdad as their capital. During the period of Abbasids, the Arab kingdom was explored or improved in knowledge and intelligence. The Abbasids were great knowledge-loving people. They learned different things. Okay, and when we see their lives, they have also established House of Wisdom. And what is that House of Wisdom? House of Wisdom is the place where they store our knowledge. Okay, they have collected the books from different civilizations like Egyptian civilization, Chinese civilization, Byzantium Empire. Okay, from different civilizations they have collected different knowledges and translated different books and kept in the House of Wisdom. They also learn different things from different people. They have the art of making glass, art of making wood. Okay, these all things, art of making paper. These all things they have learned from Chinese. Okay, and from the Egyptians they have learned about making calendar, making clock. Okay, so different things. And from the Indians they have learned about science and mathematics. Okay, so thus they have improved their knowledge. Okay, they versatile in knowledge. They grew in knowledge because they explore always to gain knowledge. And when we see this Abbasids, during Abbasids period, they have also established different centers for learning. Okay, and these people. Next we see India and the trade, India and the Arabs in trade. How the Indians, they intermingled with the Arabs for trade. Okay, so the Arabians were the first people who came to India to trade with. And when we see the Indians, they have used the Arabian ships for trading purposes. Okay, and what all the items they have exported? They have exported different items like muslin, pepper, okay, and grains, spices. Okay, these all items they have exported, and the Indians were imported luxury items, and also they have imported branded horse from Arab. And not only that, they have also spreaded Islam in everywhere wherever they have went. They have converted the Hindu nations like Malaysia, Indonesia to follow Islam. So Islam was flourished. The religion was spreaded very fastly because of even with the help of the traders. And when we see afterwards the Arab world, when we see these people, they have also acquainted with different kinds of cultural and lifestyles. Okay, and what is the life of the people? Okay, when we see Al-Biruni was one of the historian and mathematician who wrote about the Indians. Okay, he was the Arab historian and mathematician. He wrote about Indians. Okay, in his writing, he told the Indians were expectants. Okay, that means Indians they have content themselves because they have learned people, they are intelligent, they know about science and mathematics. Okay, whereas these Arabians, they were always eager to learn things and so on. And the next we can see the Turks. At the end of this period, we can see the Arab kingdom was divided or disintegrated, that caused the formation of different independent states. That's how the two important independent states in Central Asia called Ghazni and Gori were established. Okay, and we will see in chapter 3, chapter 4, the Turkish invasion and establishment of Delhi Sultanate. Who were these Turks? The Turks were the soldiers who worked under the Abbasids. So these people were the nomadic people who adopted the religion called Islam. Okay, during 18th century, 19th century, at the end of the 18th century, the Abbasids empire declined. Okay, so that made formation of different independent states. That's how the new community called Turkish people or Turks. Turks were the Muslim people. They were started. When we learn about this Turkish invasion, there were two important people we have to note it with. Okay, who were these people? One is Muhammad Ghazni and other one is Muhammad Gori. And who is Muhammad Ghazni? Ghazni was one of the states in Afghanistan in Central Asia, and Ghazni also is another state in Central Asia. Okay, the Ghazni was ruled by Mahmud. Okay, during 1001 to 1025 BC. Okay, between 1001 to 1025 BC, around 17 times Muhammad Ghazni invaded India. Okay, so within the period of 25 years, he invaded 17 times. He plundered and he took all the wealth from the temple cities. Mainly he focused on the temple cities, and he attacked most of the North Indian temples. Okay, and he plundered all the temples, and he took all the wealth from India. And what is the motive of Muhammad of Ghazni? The main motive of Muhammad of Ghazni was to establish, to make a standing army. He wanted to strengthen his empire. He wanted to establish his empire. He wanted to protect his empire in Central Asia. In order to strengthen his empire, he needed a large, huge standing army. Okay. Now what Muhammad of Ghazni did with all the plunder, with all the wealth he has taken away from India, he developed his country, he developed his state. Okay. And he had made magnificent temples, magnificent mosque in the city called Ghazni. And he made the Ghazni as fortified city. And Muhammad of Ghazni was an idol breaker. Okay. He was a good leader. He was a good military leader. Okay. And he was not only good military leader, he was also a good learner. Okay. He patronized scholars and poets in his court. Okay. He learned different books. Okay. When we see his court, there were two important people. Firdausi was a poet. Okay. His court poet. He wrote a book called Shahnama. And another person called Al-Barni. Okay. Al-Barni was a historian. And he was written many articles. Okay. Or many things, many records that gives vast knowledge about India and the Arabs. Okay. And when we see, the next thing when we see important raids. Okay. His main aim was to plunder the wealth from India and to make his state as magnificent state. Okay. Now what are the important raids he has taken? He had seen the condition of India. Okay. When he became the ruler, India was disintegrated. Especially in North India, the Rajput rulers were disintegrated. They were not united. Okay, they were not united. Among the people, there is no unity. So, using this opportunity, Muhammad of Ghazni, he invaded India. First, he focused on Punjab. Okay, Punjab was ruled by Jaipal, King Jaipal. So, he attacked Punjab and he defeated a ruler called Jaipal. Okay, and he was humiliated him. So after humiliation, he died. Jaipal was dead. Okay, after his death, his son became the ruler of Punjab. Now what happened? Anandpal, he took the support of his people. Okay, he made alliance with the different Rajput rulers. The history says, Al-Barni's historical document says, the alliance when he made, even the people, they gave ornaments to fight against Muhammad of Ghazni. Okay, even then, Anandpal could not get success and he was defeated. Okay, and after that what happened? Anandpal was defeated and he became the ruler of Punjab. And after defeating Anandpal, he also made different raids. Okay, and after 150 years, what happened? There was big gap, 150 years, and during 12th century, now another person from Central Asia, he came to India to invade. Okay, he is called Muhammad of Ghori. Okay, and when Muhammad of Ghori came to India, India was divided into different important ruled by different important Rajput rulers. Okay, especially 5 Rajput rulers. The Rajput rulers of Kalinger, Chaugans, okay, Malwa, Bihar, Paravas. Okay, these were the different Rajput rulers who were ruled in North India. Okay. Now, when we see Muhammad of Ghori, his main motive was to establish his kingdom in India. He wanted to make his rule in India. So, he mainly focused on 3 places in North India, that is Punjab, Multan and Sindh. So, first he attacked Punjab, Multan and Sindh, then slowly he further moved forward and he defeated different other Rajput rulers. Okay, when we see this Muhammad of Ghori, he also took important battles. Okay, there were two important battles made by Ghori with the Indians. That is the first battle of Tarain in 1191 BC and the second battle of Tarain in 1192 BC. Okay, when we see the first battle of Tarain, the first battle of Tarain took place between Chaugan, okay, Prithviraj Chaugan of Delhi and Ajmer and Muhammad Ghori. In the first battle of Tarain, Muhammad of Ghori was defeated. Prithviraj Chaugan easily defeated Muhammad of Ghori. So, in the second battle, again Muhammad of Ghori came to India to take revenge on Prithviraj Chaugan in the very next year in 1192 BC. Okay, when he came to for the second time, now Prithviraj was unexpected about this invasion of Muhammad of Ghori, so he was not ready with his army. Now this time what happened? He has made alliance with the different Rajput rulers. Everybody, most of the Rajput rulers helped Prithviraj Chaugan except the ruler of Kannauj. Okay, Raja Jayachandra was not ready to give support to Prithviraj Chaugan. So Prithviraj Chaugan, he was defeated by Muhammad of Ghori in the second battle of Tarain, and his eyes were plucked out and he became blind. Okay, and he was not given any power. Okay, he was humiliated by Muhammad of Ghori. Now, most of the region, after the 2 years of his defeat of Prithviraj Chaugan, he again invaded India and concentrated on Raja of Jayachandra of Kannauj. So Kannauj was defeated in 1194 BC. Okay, and now what happened? This Muhammad of Ghori had no children. There is no heir for him. So, but he had different slaves like Gudbuddin Aibak and all. Okay, Gudbuddin Aibak, Muhammad Bakhtiyar Khalji. These were some of the slaves who worked under Muhammad of Ghori. Now, with all the position he had in India, with all the areas he defeated, everything was given into the hands of Gudbuddin Aibak. So, Gudbuddin Aibak became the general of India, okay, during the period. And Bakhtiyar Khalji also became another general. He concentrated in Bihar region. And when we see how this Delhi Sultanate established. Delhi Sultanate was established within the period 1206 to 1526 BCE. When we see Delhi Sultanate, the sultans were ruled in the Delhi and Ajmer. That's why we call it as Delhi Sultanate. And in Delhi Sultanate there were 5 important dynasties ruled between the period of 1206 to 1526 BCE. The first dynasty was Mamluk dynasty, and the second dynasty was Khalji dynasty, then Lodi dynasty, Tughlaq dynasty. These were different dynasties ruled in Delhi Sultanate. So the first Mamluk dynasty was established by Gudbuddin Aibak. Okay, Gudbuddin Aibak was a general of Muhammad of Ghori. He was acting as a viceroy of Delhi. Okay, and under his control, he ruled India for 4 years, 1206 to 1210. Okay, during this period, he ruled India and united almost all the areas, and he was a strong leader in India. Okay, when we see, he contributed something for the Delhi Sultanate. He has constructed 2 important mosques in Delhi and Ajmer. He also laid the foundation for Qutb Minar. Okay, Qutb Minar was constructed by Gudbuddin Aibak and completed by Iltutmish, and the 5th floor was added by Firuz Shah Tughlaq. And when we see Qutbuddin Aibak, he ruled Delhi for 4 years. Then he was died in 2210 in an accidental fall from the horse. Okay. After his death, his generals wanted to make his son as the ruler, but he made his son-in-law Iltutmish as a ruler. Okay, so Iltutmish ruled Delhi from 1210 to 1236. He was also a strong ruler. Okay, as soon as he became the ruler, he controlled the rebels of different Rajput rulers, different nobles. So when he became the ruler, he had different enemies. So as soon as he became the ruler, he abolished, he destructed all his enemies. Okay, and after that, what happened? After defeating all his enemies, he also started a huge standing army in order to protect his kingdom. Okay, and after 1236, he also died. Okay, before his death, the nobles and the generals wanted to make Ruknuddin Mohmed as the ruler. He was one of his son. Okay, but Ruknuddin Mohmed was not capable ruler. He was not able. So what happened? Iltutmish made Razia Sultan as the ruler. Now, though Razia was a female ruler, she acted as a male. Okay, she defeated all his enemies. Okay, he had rivalry over the surrounding regions. He captured different regions. Okay, she took different measures, welfare measures for his subjects. Okay, when we see her life was submission to his people. Okay, she also mint coin during her period. Then after Razia Sultan, Ruknuddin was appointed as the ruler. Now, he was not capable ruler, so Balban came in position of his place. Okay, so Balban, he ruled Delhi. Okay, and after that, what happened? Ruknuddin was killed, and Ruknuddin was died. After the death of Ruknuddin, Balban became the authoritative ruler of Delhi. Okay, and he ruled till 1288. Okay, and when we see he has taken lot of welfare measures to his people. Okay, he has constructed the fortified cities. Okay, he destructed all the old forts and he had created new forts. Okay, he believed on divine kingship. Okay, he believed on divine kingship, and he expected his generals to worship his feet when he come to his court. Okay, and he was all his generals were submissive to his rule. Okay, during his period, he also appointed a spy system. He took lot of welfare measures. Okay, he also developed the economical and social culture of the people. Okay, he had mainly helped the agricultural activities. Okay, and he also have done different canals for irrigation system, to develop the irrigation system. Then at last what happened, his life also came to an end, and he was defeated by Khaljis. Okay, Muhammad of Khalji was first Khalji ruler after Balban, who defeated Ghiyasuddin Balban. Okay, so here ends the Mamluk dynasty. Thus, the Delhi Sultanate established in India. So, children, we have seen here the rule of Turks and how they invaded India, and who were the two important Turkish rulers and what they have done. Okay, and what are the changes that occurred in India during their period, and who established the Delhi Sultanate. These all things we have seen. Okay, so children, you study well, take care of yourself. We will meet again in the next class. Till then, See you.